I'm Vanessa Rock, the girl on a bike, and I might look a little bit tireder than normal. I'm here in the Gambia, and I have come here straight from the finish line of the Africa Rico race, which I just finished, and I won the women's and became the first British female to ever 100% finish that race. So I'm feeling pretty proud. But right now, I'm here to share with you something a little bit more serious and something that I really want to help share to the rest of the world. And that is the work that is being done here with Two Wheels for Life and Riders for Health in the Gambia. So right now I'm actually at the HQ of Riders for Health, and I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of the facilities here, and then over the next week I'm going to be going out into the Gambia and seeing the support of mobility and the movement of healthcare across some of the much more rural places here in Gambia through the work that they're doing. So for now I'm going to show you the headquarters. So here we are. It's considerably bigger than I expected, and it says stop, but I made it in. So we are in. This is an incredible infrastructure. Now, healthcare across Gambia isn't like what some of us in the world are used to. So for example, in the UK, if I get sick, have a heart attack, I'm pregnant, have complications, there is a phone, a 911, and within a pretty short 911? 999, hope I get that right if I actually have a healthcare issue in the UK. And within a pretty short period of time, someone with an ambulance is going to arrive. They're going to take me to a hospital on a nice, smooth tarmac road in a comfy vehicle that has trained medical people with all the facilities. And the likelihood is I'll get the healthcare that I need pretty quickly. Unfortunately, not all places in the world are like that. There are very different ways of living and standards of living, infrastructures and communities, and racing the Africa Rico race across multiple countries in Africa, I've definitely seen firsthand a lot more of the more rural situations that people are living in, and so healthcare isn't the same here. Now, if you are living in a remote village hundreds of kilometers away from a big city and you have a problem, in a lot of instances, donkey and a cart could be your best option. And situations that could happen in the UK where you're going to get healthcare can actually mean the loss of lives in places like this. So one of the reasons why I'm here and sharing this with you is because I have decided to become a brand ambassador for Two Wheels for Life and help utilize some of the energy and the channels I have through online communities to get the word out there, because motorcycles aren't just for fun. Motorbikes also save lives, and that's a big part of what is happening here. So you might have noticed all of the ambulances behind me. They have over 440 different vehicles that they are servicing and maintaining to get the healthcare across. That includes 300 motorbikes, and that is the part that gets me really excited. I'm going to take you in a minute, when I stop eating my own hair, to see the Yamaha bikes that they are running here. But first of all, let's look at more of the service operation. So this is sort of the office area of the Riders for Health here. Ooh, it echoed as I walked in. Now in here, obviously it's more than just mechanics. There is a whole infrastructure of, the financing, the recruiting that enables charity work and infrastructures like this to happen. There's some incredible things I'm going to talk to you in a little while where they're actually taking on people to do the maintenance of these vehicles who have, in some instances, absolutely no mechanical background. And also, something that I'm even more excited about, particularly when you take what's on my t-shirt, they are taking on females into mechanical roles, which around the world we might be a little bit more used to, but in the Gambia and regions in Africa, it's certainly a really empowering thing for females in the community to be taking on roles side by side with the males and showing that we can too. So here we are, and we've got all kinds of offices. This sort of thing is something that we see all the time around the place. Now, training people to utilize their vehicles correctly isn't just fixing things going wrong. It's actually more important that it starts with preventative maintenance and having all of the riders, the drivers, the healthcare workers trained up to understand what preventative checks they can do every single day before they get into their vehicle can help not have a breakdown. And Riders for Health have a zero breakdown policy goal. Now, I'm not going to take you into all the offices because all of the action and stuff is going on, so we're going to go back out of the door and show you where the really fun stuff happens, and that's where the vehicles are. That's a mango tree, by the way. We came at the wrong time of year. Give me mangoes! Although at certain times of the year here in the Gambia, I think it's about a 3-month period, it basically rains all day, every day, which is why when we walk forward this way, which is into more of the service and maintenance areas, you can see a huge canopy roof up here, and that is because the maintenance, no matter what the weather is doing, needs to happen. It gets incredibly hot here in the summer and very wet in the winter, and there's all kind of things designed into this bespoke facility to deal with, like the fact that the concrete raises up is so that when that monsoon level rain comes in, the water isn't washed into the areas where they're working. Now, I've mentioned they have a lot of vehicles that they are maintaining. They've got 3 different car ramps and a big team of people, including females, who are going to be doing the vehicle maintenance on these. Now, the vehicles include ambulances, some of them are 4x4s, vehicles like Toyota Land Cruisers, and making sure that they're not breaking down out in the wilderness is really important. Now, there is a map of Gambia, which I will try and pop up on the screen right now, magically. We are at the far west. I love that I have to go north, east, south, west, so ahead every time. We're at the far west of Gambia on the Atlantic coast, and it is over 450 kilometers to the most inner point of Gambia. And there isn't a big M25 road that just enables you to get there really quickly. So while this is the HQ in the Gambia, they also have regional maintenance hubs, 6 of them, so that healthcare workers can go there for their monthly checks on their vehicles, or if they have any issues, to get support with the cars and the motorbikes. And they also have a massive fueling infrastructure. Now, for a lot of us thinking about refueling our vehicles, you'll just drive down the road and go, oh, my fuel tank's low. Oh, look, there's a Shell, there's a BP, and you'll just pull in. They have petrol, they have diesel, they'll fill the vehicle up, and you'll carry on your way. Not quite the same in areas in Africa, and so Riders for Health have a full infrastructure for refueling. At the moment, with the current vehicle capacity that they have, they are using 66,000 litres of fuel a month. 16,000 of that is petrol, the rest is diesel, and that is organised by Riders for Health to come here, and then it's distributed to the refueling stations that they have across the Gambia, so that the healthcare workers can refuel out where they need to. It just blows my mind that that's a thing. It's so often in life that we take stuff for granted until you're out into totally different worlds and you realise that something as simple as getting fuel for your motorcycle is no longer simple. Which also leads us to the stores. So if we walk this way, you can see everyone's in here working. It's a busy day as always. But in here is where they keep all of their parts. Now, if you think about the fact that we're in the Gambia, it is a global distribution of parts. They've got lots of vehicles, and when things need repairing, when they need lubrications, when they need spark plugs, clutch plates, all of these kinds of things, they've got to get them here. And it can take up to 4 weeks for some parts, which means here in stores, they have a team managing to make sure that for all the different vehicles that they have, they do have one type of motorcycle, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but for all the different vehicles, they have the stock on the shelf. Again, it's about preventative maintenance, and when a vehicle is out of action here, that could mean a loss for life. So it's really important that those vehicles are maintained correctly and the parts are all in stock. So let's go and meet the motorcycle, which, yes, I'm going to get to ride. I'm going to be taking one home later today as well to go on a little adventure around the Gambia. And you can see there's all of the equipment that they'll possibly need to make this happen. So in here we have the Yamaha. Hey, how are you doing? I'm going to nail the handshake this time. Yeah. Oh, I went wrong. This way? That way? Yeah. That way? This way?
Yeah.
This way?
Yeah. This way. Yeah.
And then explode. So this is the Yamaha AG 100. Now it's a bike that is very well known in the agriculture world. It's a really robust machine, and there's a few things on this bike that once I met it this morning, I realised quite why Riders for Health use it. So I'm going to give you a top to tail run through of the bike. So I'm going to start, let's start at the front because otherwise I'll forget things. There's all kinds of things on here to why they're so practical. You've got luggage racks, rear and a bonus one on the front. You've got a really simple control system. Things like the fact that you have a brake rod. I've gone a bit awkward leaning over the bike. I should have got to that one when I got around to the other side, but because I was looking at the brakes, it made me think of it. It's a bike that has minimal maintenance, and it comes with good tyres, spoke wheels. It's got a kickstart, so you're not going to have a whole electric start failing on you. It's got lovely things for the maintenance, which is like here. There's a dipstick on the... Ooh, can I do it from the opposite side of the bike? I love this. It's a motorcycle with a dipstick. And you might be watching this going, Vanessa, loads of motorcycles have dipsticks. Well, none of my motorcycles have dipsticks, so I'm particularly excited by this. It has engine guards, so should they get dropped, we're not going to be getting damage. On the back here, the chain is something that's pretty cool. It has not only a big guard to protect the chain, it also has a full enclosure. The Gambia can be very dusty and muddy depending on the time of year, and that's keeping that chain a lot cleaner. So the maintenance cycle is going to be a much smaller burden. You have side stands on both sides. It means that you can do an agile get off whichever way you want to go. It's got a little 100cc single cylinder engine. You've got really easy access to the cover here to get into, check things like your fluids, your battery power. Big guards again to protect it if it was to come down, and these are all things that come as standard on the motorcycle, which makes them a really practical. They're small, they're lightweight, they've got low seat height, so if you're looking at health carers, especially when you have female health carers going out, it's a non-intimidating, easy to maintain bike for them to ride. So it's absolutely fantastic. It's great to hear that Two Wheels for Life and Riders for Health are building a stronger and stronger relationship with Yamaha as the years go on as well, but it's an ideal choice. So on the wall over here is something that Sal has just talked me through. He knows his stuff, so thank you. But this is another one of the, is it an acronym? What's it called when you have numbers? Plans. Plans is what the riders of the motorcycles have to do every day before they get onto their motorcycle. Again, it's all about preventative maintenance. So the first one is petrol. Has it got any petrol in it? Then you move on to lubrication, so that's things like the engine oil, the battery level, lubricating certain joints on the bike, making sure that the oil and clutch wires have enough fluid, etc., to move smoothly. We've then got the adjustments, so any of the adjustments that you might need to do to make sure that you've got the right chain tension, checking that your mirrors are right, your clutch cable's got the right tensions, and all of these health workers and riders are trained on how to do all this maintenance stuff, which is absolutely incredible. And if you think about a healthcare worker, their primary education has been in healthcare. So to be able to then get an additional education into the tools that they can use to get out there to these villages is absolutely incredible. Right, moving on, we've then got nuts and bolts. So they get a selection of toolkits for every single rider so that they have the facilities to be able to make sure everything is tight, because obviously a loose bolt isn't a problem until you lose it. So making sure they're all tight, and then we go on to stop. And when you first said stop, I was like, what, stop? Do we now stop and have a cup of tea? But it's actually to make sure you've checked your brakes, but have you actually checked your brakes? Push those brakes. Are they stopping you? Are your mirrors in the right place? And then those final checks. Stop, final checks before you get on your bike. And it's all things that are going to make sure that these vehicles keep running. It's super cool. So, it turns out this one, shiny red, should we call him? Oh, he's going to need a name. We'll come up with a name. This is going to be my steed for the next couple of days. So if I'm doing this correctly, I have just had a very brief training compared to what people would actually get training. But I need to go through my checks. So the first one will be fuel. So I'm going to get onto my checks and we'll take it for a ride. cute one of those like magic kit change things. So one of the things that Riders for Health are also trying to do is a massive part of education on the safety using motorcycles. A lot of us around the world understand the importance of helmets, the right protection, and they are really trying to make sure that the healthcare workers are wearing the appropriate gear when they get on the bikes. So I have put my brown pants on, sand pants, whatever you want to call them, and this is my steed. So check number 1 is fuel, which means I'm going to take my steed and go and get some fuel. There's 2 side stands. This is confusing. The side stand's on this side. This is a great demonstration. It totally got my brain there because it's leading the opposite way. Totally got me. Cool. Can I take a bike off the side stand on the opposite side? Yes, I can. I'm not actually sure where fuel is. Do we know where fuel is? That way? We're going this way. Yes, sir. Can you give it a kick?
Yes, sir. Who are you calling, sir?
I don't know, not you. That would be weird. Yes, ma'am.
You're looking very intrigued there, Vanessa.
Apparently I have to pass a test
Yeah, what's that about?
to whether I'm allowed to get fuel or not.
Oh.
But I don't know what the test is.
Okay, so I'm in neutral. Key is on. Okay, come on, little red. Victory! Okay, we're gonna go round the mango tree. Oh. Woohoo! Okay, are we ready? We're all kitted up. The Vanessa wannabe lookalike.
If you want to be Vanessa, you gotta wear the same kit.
Anyway, we are about to get on the little AG 100s and go for a ride around the Gambia. Not doing any of the healthcare stuff today, but just to see some of the sights. We're thinking of going to a craft market and the beach. And I'm also going to do a bike review on these once I've done a little bit of time in the saddle, so stay tuned for that video too. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I really do recommend looking up the Two Wheels for Life website for the charity, and it would mean a lot to me if you wanted to support them, make a donation. They do some incredible things, and supporting stuff that is a basic in some of our societies that we live in that is really saving lives, changing lives here in Africa. Right, time to kit up. Whoop whoop. We're in a fish market town, so we've got loads of smoked fish and stuff going on up there. You can see all the super colourful boats here. Yay! There's Annika.
Fish for dinner?
Smoked fish for dinner.
Smoked fish for dinner.
We have stopped at a local sort of street food restaurant where all the locals are coming to eat. So Two Wheels for Life Zoe has recommended this is where we get the best local Yassa food, which means we are in the queue waiting, and my belly is very, very exciting. There's definitely a reason why all the locals are eating here. This is phenomenal. So I had a local dish at a restaurant near the hotel last night, which was really good. Same dish Joe's eating. Next level good now.
What are you doing, Missy?
Houston, we got a problem.
And what would that problem be?
The truck keys have been locked in the truck. Not by me, but yeah, the truck is locked. He tried it with stick. The motorbike key didn't work.
Didn't work?
Oh my.
I can go.
Look, I can't get the angle.
Yeah, I cannot do
Your arm gets bigger. You got your hand in.
Got my hand in.
Go in that shop and see if they have like a bamboo pole. We just need a longer stick.
Another plan here. We have a long stick which we are creating into a hook.
I still can't get in, but we have the key. An amazing local just came over with a bit of iron bar and basically showed us how to get in the car. But he didn't want to be filmed, probably because he's very talented at getting into cars. Yay! Okay, let's get our helmets and back on the bikes.